Most respected Vice Chancellor of Central Agriculture University, Dr. Anupam Misra sir, and PI of this IDP NAHEP project, Dr. S. Basanta Singh sir, Director of Instruction, Central Agriculture University, and most respected Dean of our college, Professor B.N. Hazarika sir, Dean and the Nodal Officer of this program, and the respected resource person, Madam Anita Ambade, and dear participants, my dear colleagues and the staff CHF, I welcome all of you for our 31st webinar. So to brief that, it's a great opportunity for all of us to look into this recent development of this accounting software. So our deans are taken a keen interest and motivated our staff to take up this training because it is very useful for the as a developmental of our college as a holistic approach. So he has taken personal interest to organize such a program. Sir, we thank you for your motivation and organizing such a wonderful this training program. May I request now our Dean sir to address this August gathering, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Raja. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Good morning to everyone. Our most respected Honorable Vice Chancellor of the prestigious Central Agricultural University, Dr. Anupam Misra sir, Director of Instruction sir, and all the organizing team of this IDP NAHEP program, and all the esteemed resource persons and viewers. Indeed, it is a very great opportunity to have this webinar on the subject of accounting, which is very essential for us in the coming days. And in this regard, Dr. Anita has given the consent for us. I, on my behalf, as well as IDP NAHEP program, and this is our 31st webinar program going on in this college. And I hope during the course of deliberations, all these participants will be motivated and will be given necessary direction for accounting, and everybody will be benefited upon it, because in the present time this is essential for accounting. And we have also started AMS as well as TSA, and therefore this is utmost essential. So in this case, I, on my behalf, once again do welcome everyone, and thank you, the esteemed resource person Anita, for being with us.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful address to encourage our staff, for motivating all of our staff to gain the knowledge on the basic accounting to the accounting software. So there is a paradigm shift in the accounting section. So to consider the need of our great, large and big institutions. So Dean sir has organized such a program. So thank you very much, sir, for your address. Now, may I request our Grishan sir for the welcome address. Grishan sir. Sir, you can unmute and you can, just a minute, sir. I'll make you co-host. Yeah, now you can speak. So now you can speak.
Yes, okay, I'm audible.
Yes, audible.
Okay, very good morning to all of you. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Central Agriculture University, Dr. Anupam Mishra sir, and Director Instruction, Dr. S. Basanta sir, from Central Agriculture University, Imphal, and Dean, Professor Dr. B.N. Hazarika sir, College of Horticulture and Forestry, and also College of Agriculture, and Nodal Officer of the NAHEB, and co-PI of the NAHEB, Dr. P. Raja, and organizing secretary, co-organizing secretary, and team of the all members for organizing 2 days training on overview of handling basic accounting to accounting software, and all the participants. Now today is need for the basic information and knowledge of the accounting, which is close related to the accounting software, because small accounting needs to every day, every scientist, every employee of the universities, and also government, non-government, and semi-government employees. So if our employees and government servant, if focus and gain some information and knowledge regarding handling of basic accounting to the accounting software, it will be good for the smooth functioning and handling of the offices related to accounting. So our invited speaker, Mrs. Anita Ambadi, will present on overview of handling basic accounting to accounting software today and also tomorrow. So welcome to all of you, dear participants and all the team. From my sides, I hope the training will be benefited to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Grichand sir is a professor, plant pathology, College of Agriculture, Central Agriculture University, Pasighat, for welcoming all the participants. So there is a slight changes in the program schedule. As our dean sir had a meeting with the higher officials, so he has delivered his talk well in advance. So those who are missed, actually you can catch it in the live streaming also. So thank you so much, sir. So now I will explain about this program. So this program is meant for all the staff of CHF and also constituent colleges of Central Agriculture University. We have invited the most renowned resource person of Mrs. Anita Ambadi, Assistant Professor, Department of Managed Studies, K. Ramakrishnan College of Engineering, Samayapuram, Trichy. So as we all know that this is a very important, and even the scientists or the frontline researcher or professors, they need to update their knowledge, because there is a quantum of paradigm shift in the knowledge sector as well as the technology aspects. So I remember certain years before, if you want to go to the bank, withdraw the money, you have to stand in the queue they give the pay slip or withdrawal slip. You have to fill it and staying in the line and doing the things. And even the bank will be closed, at the end of 31st March for a week or even 10 days. And so we had hurdles and the problems. Now, accounting software reduces our energy and labor and human power, human error. Of course, it can eliminate. So nowadays we are having everything on a, in a software, app form in our mobile. So even the ticketing, banking, and online transaction. So to update the knowledge of accounting to our staff, our Dean sir has started this training program. So before going further, I would like to read the biodata of our today's speaker. So Mrs. Anita Ambadi is working as assistant professor in Department of Management Studies, K. Ramakrishnan College of Engineering, Trichy, since 2012. And she has completed her Bachelor of Commerce in 1999 from Madras University. She later did her Master of Commerce, MA Public Administration, MBA, and Diploma in Labor's Law. And her education was from Madras University. She later did her MPhil in Management from Christ University in 2014. Presently, she is a part-time scholar in PhD in Management from Bharathidasan University. She is doing JJ College of Arts and Science, Pudukkottai. She first started her career as an administrative officer in Kotak Mahindra Bank. She later on joined in Ramakrishnan College of Engineering and is working as a successful faculty in the institution. She has received awards for her performance in the institution. She was second the best performer out of nearly 300 staffs in the institution. She handled nearly 5 papers in the semester and secured 100% result. She has published many papers in Scopus and UGC Care List Journal. She has also presented many papers in national and international conferences. She has attended many workshops and seminars. In the pandemic period, she has been still presenting and publishing her papers. She's still attending many webinars. She is doing many online courses through NBTEL and has done on course every semester since she joined the institution. She has never stand still. She has been working and was one of the member for ISO, NAC, NBA accreditation for the institution. She's going to submit her synopsis in October. She's working for her PhD also. So with this, may I request our resource person, Madam Anita Ambadi, to start the session. Madam.
Good morning to all of you. Thank you, sir, for your introduction, and thank you, Girish Chand, sir, and for even your wonderful introduction, sir. As sir was just telling, I just started my education in BCom, and after completion of my BCom, I just wanted to go for a job. So I just joined as administrative officer, all that. So before starting my session of accounting software, I just thought as well, why don't I just give some motivation first in the beginning? Sir, can I just share my slides, sir?
Yes, madam, you can share your slide.
Okay, sir. So I just thought might as well, why don't I just give something called as motivation? Because nowadays in this particular pandemic period, many people as such, they are, if you see, their energy level has gone down. One, if you say it is maybe with regard to your salary, half month salary they might be giving, or else whatever work I do, I don't get anything properly. So the motivation level has gone down very badly in this particular, from March 2020 onwards, our energy level has come down. So I just wanted to do something called as a motivation first in the beginning, because people nowadays, I just see people are very lethargic. They don't want to actually work very briskly as how they used to do it before. The first thing what I just want to...
Can you click on the slide view? Can you click the slide view so that it will be full screen? Yeah.
Slide view.
Slide view. Or slideshow. You go to the slideshow. No, madam. Slideshow. First,
Just a
second,
minute, sir.
third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh one. Yeah. And from the beginning. Yes.
Is it okay, sir?
Yes. Okay, madam.
Okay.
Continue.
So I just thought, might as well, why don't I do something called as a motivation? So the first thing, what if you see is what you are doing today can definitely improve your tomorrow. Never think that I need to do everything. Don't postpone your things. Everything what you do today will improve your things tomorrow. That is the first actual proverb which you need to actually keep it in mind. Every day start with your positive thought. Never be a pessimist. If you see, I'm working for a wonderful department in my college in K. Ramakrishnan College of Engineering. Always our HOD sir used to tell us, whatever you think, you keep on be praying. God is always there on top of your head. You think that I can't do, I can't do. God will say, what you pray, let that particular, my bhakta, what he prays, let him definitely get it. You be a pessimist, means think negatively, that negative thoughts only will actually happen on that particular day. Be pessimist. Be be very optimistic. Don't think that nothing will happen. Keep a positive thought that will improve your that particular day. If you keep that you need to complete a work one day, if you complete it, you might think that changes that in that evening. Wonderful, I did something today. So always keep a positive thought in the morning. If you see this picture itself, it is just a small slab. In between that, a small plant has come. There, that is what you see, there is a proverb, where there is a will, there is a way. Every time, no, don't ever think, God will never keep all our doors closed. One door will definitely be open. You need to find it out. You need to think that I need to bring all these things. Nobody will be there outside to come and show. People are always there to actually give negative thoughts only to you. You can't do, you can't do. They will never say you can do. You think you can do, you will definitely do it. Because if you see my education, as Sir specified, MCOM I did, MA Public Administration I did, MPhil I did, MBA I did, Diploma in Labor Law. People used to tell me, how can you study so much? I used to say, I can, I will do it. I did 2 MA Public Administration and Diploma in Labor Law side by side. Because when I did side by side, people used to say, you can't do one diploma, this is impossible, you're not going to clear out your papers. I said, I don't say I think, I will do it. That was my actual real thought, what I used to think. I will do it. My education, that I will definitely do it. When I was working for the institution, I was even doing my MPhil degree. That time we were having a lot of work, and people used to say, how you can study and how you can work. I can do it. Of course, there's the support from my family also. That's a different issue. If my family doesn't support me, I will definitely not be able to do things. But I felt I will do it. So if you see any particular positive thoughts, when you have the will, I have the real positive thought, I can bring it out. Nobody can need to tell you from outside. Have inbuilt motivation within, from inside, within you. Nobody, don't wait for somebody else to come and tell you. Always, if you see, you don't build a business, you build people only. A person who's starting a business, he first needs to build people's actual real trust. That is the first thing he actually needs to do. You are not actually going to develop your business, you're going to develop building relationship. Your colleagues daily, when you meet them, just say a good morning. When you meet your colleagues daily, I don't think many of them says that. If I say, they don't wish back, it's okay. You're wishing your juniors or your seniors, you're wishing them good morning. They might be something busy with another work. They might not wish you back. Don't expect. You do your duty. If I say only, they will say. Don't expect that. You say them with a smiling face, good morning in the morning. That will be a wonderful expression from them. Wow, wonderful, they have told me good morning. That wish in the morning might bring something positive for them. The next day when they meet you, they will say good morning. That is what you need to build people's relationship. If you see our department was the first in the college. We used to say good morning. It was our department which we started. After that, later on, people used to say MBA department staff have been starting telling us good morning. Something good happened. So we need to actually build people and not our business. Money is required for life, but money is not the only requirement in life. Because you're not going to take, as people say, you're not going to take your money when you're going on your deathbed. You're going to take the relationship. How many people are there with you to cry? When you are not there, how many people are there to cry? Or are you being alone that time? So you require the relationship that time. Then if you see, people will always say a word, I can't. Don't tell that. At least if it is impossible, if you see Abdul Kalam always says a word, impossible. In that itself it says, I am possible. Never say a word, I can't do. It's impossible for me to do it. You can do it, but your lethargy and your laziness that makes you not to do it. Never do that, because if you study some work today, tomorrow it will help you. So never tell the word I can't. Just cut it off. Just say the T to be cut off and just say you can do it. The next, if you see, is your growth will actually improve the organizational growth. Now, what all paper presentations, as how sir has said about me doing my paper presentations, that my growth has improved the college growth also. So you do your own personal things properly, that will improve your college growth, your institutional growth. When are you an ideal employee? When you are very loyal, compassionate, trustworthy, respectful, presentable, patient, all these characters. All these characters only combine a real ideal employee of an institution. You need to be motivated, be honest. Now, if you are late today, be honest. I came late today one day, but don't repeat it daily. If you're working for a government or non-government, whatever institution, private institution, whatever the case may be punctual first, be disciplined first, be very patient enough for what all your seniors are telling. Your senior might be having some personal problems, he might show it to you. It's okay. Just welcome it with a smile. Later on, next day, he will not try to really scold you again. You welcome it with not with a lethargic smile, with a patient smile. Later on, he will not repeat it again for you. When you have a real good meeting, never sleep like this. It's not your bed to sleep. Your institution, you need to be really powerful over there. Never sleep over there. Any very important discussion. If you notice, when you're watching a cinema, you don't yawn, because it's very interesting. The cinema, what all happens, that's very interesting. You never yawn during that time. What is the next scene? What is the next scene? You keep on you're very anxious to know what happens in the next scene. If you notice, when you are studying, if you are going through something which is actually not very interesting, that time you keep on yawning. Actually, they say because of the lack of oxygen only, that oxygen intake only we take. That is what they say. Biological way, they say that because we require something called as an oxygen, because of that, you actually take up this particular yawning and you take up oxygen for your body. But you notice, when you're watching a cinema, you will not yawn. You watch anything which is not interesting for you, that time you yawn. Making things interesting all depends on you only. That is what they say, never try to sleep in any important discussions. This is just a small story which I've just given a glimpse about it. A person was watching a butterfly. It was just coming out slowly from the cocoon. It was just coming out. What did he do is, he didn't want that particular butterfly to suffer. He just took a pair of scissors and he just snipped over it. And was very coolly the butterfly came, but later on it couldn't fly at all, because that cocoon, it has to come by itself. The person actually didn't want the particular butterfly to suffer, he did it. Because of that, whole life, the butterfly couldn't actually really go through. Obstacles is something which has to be borne by you. You need to actually bear it You need to come over it. Don't expect somebody else to come. If he does anything, it will turn out to be a negative way for you. So don't try to be like that. The obstacles in life is always there. Never think, personal life I'm suffering, my organizational life I'm suffering. Never think like that. That obstacles able enough to actually go through all this. You're very able enough to go through. That's why God is giving you obstacles. Keep that in mind. When are you really goodly motivated? When you have good habits, you've got success, you've got good ideas, rewards, capacity, focus. All this only, it will actually make you really goodly motivated. Then, if you see, there's an advertisement of about Naukri.com. In that, one particular person is dragging another person for work. Don't make others to actually screw you always. Screw you yourself always. Others should not screw you for your work. Don't make your actual seniors to keep on be telling you, did you complete? Did you complete? He should not screw you always. Try to finish your work in time. He giving you a work in the morning, before evening, try to complete it. If not, go and report. Sir, madam, I have not completed. By tomorrow morning, I will complete. That will make your way better. Good, he's having responsibility. That responsibility will make you actually be motivated more. And if an organization has to go on, the boat, if you notice, only one particular person rowing a boat, that will not actually go and reach the goal. All of them should row the boat in their own way. Then only the organization will start moving forward. You have to keep on be rowing. When you keep on be rowing, one person doing in one side, another person doing in other side, it's not going to be used at all. So you need to keep on be rowing your boat on the same pattern. That time you become the first. Every time have a smiling face. Keep your colleagues also happy. Means not without, I'm not saying that you should not do your work. You keep doing your work and do it on a smiling face. That will give you a positive thinking. That will actually improve your positive thinking. And your colleagues also should never think, my God, I need to go for office today. My God, I need to go for college today. If you see ourselves in our department, when we get up in the morning on Sunday, my God, there's no college today. I really think that only. But morning when I get up on Monday, brisk enough to just stand up and go for the work. Because of what? My colleagues are like that. The department head also, actually, we are all internally motivated. Nobody tells us from outside. We greet our staff with a good morning smile. We actually share our personal problems, everything. We share everything and we feel that it is there. We can complete it by today. We do the work. Togetherness. That togetherness should always be there. As Michael Jordan says, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. That is how I could do, because our college is having nearly more than 300 staff. Because of the internal motivation and my department support, I could actually be one of the best performer. In our college, when we are getting 100% results, our chairman is very much a very grateful person to actually reward us with our performance appraisal. So he just rewarded us, he rewards all the staffs. So I was the second best performer in the whole institution. Means we've got actually 2 colleges. I could do it only because of the teamwork. So your talent actually wins the games, but teamwork and intelligence will win the championship, which is absolutely right, which is told by Michael Jordan. Always people work for money, but your recognition will actually give you awards and rewards. Because why, if you see, tomorrow you're with some personal issues, you may have to leave an institution, an organization, whatever the case may be. When you are joining in another institution, you can actually add on to your resume that I have got something called as rewards. That's how I've got in my institution. You've got rewards, you'll get praise. You're actually have been talked in a positive manner. Wonderful. That particular candidate was working wonderful. We missed it. The institution should miss you. The institution should always miss you and feel that, my God, I really miss that candidate. That's how we actually need to work. Every time, never expect. With your comfort zone, nothing will happen. In the yesteryears, if suppose we felt that only fan is enough, with fan we can actually work on. If the heat is actually going on also, if we would have been in that comfort zone, nothing called as air conditioner would have come. If a person would have thought that we require something called as only cycle for actually moving from one place to another, if we were in that comfort zone itself, we wouldn't have got something called as bike or car or now race cars, what all is going on the real roads. We wouldn't have got all that. If we would have really thought that only one sort of a food is enough for us, now we are getting varieties. So nothing will happen. Break up your comfort zone. Nothing good will happen in your comfort zone. Come out of it. Certain hurdles will come in the beginning. You create your own innovative ideas. Nobody is going to stop you with that. You create your innovative ideas, try to bring it out, show it to others. So when you create, come out and break out your comfort zone, miracles will happen. There was another story where I just read, it was very interesting. A small frog was actually going on to the tree. The other frogs was just saying, it's impossible, you cannot go to the top of the tree. It's impossible. That time that frog actually thought everyone was encouraging him. Later on, he just reached the frog later on to reach on the top of the tree. And what was the real moral of the story is the particular frog was deaf. He was thinking that others are giving him positive thoughts, but what happened is he never heard it, so he reached the goal. Never give ears to your negative thoughts at all. People will there, that's what I said. People are there outside to give you negative things only. They will not actually give you good positive ideas. Be deaf, act deaf. Always, and if you see, God has actually given us 2 years. You might be thinking, what is this particular 2 years? Why 1 year is not enough? We have got only one nose, we have got only one mouth. 2 years as there is, take out the 1 year is there, take the thoughts, which is good, bring it to your heart. Which is bad, leave it out through another year. That is what people who are there to give you good thoughts, take it in 1 year, take it to your heart. Any negative thoughts, leave it outside through another year. That's the only thing. So negative thoughts, if the frog actually would have actually given ears to all his what all his friends were saying, he wouldn't have reached on the top of the tree. That's impossible. Love your job. You love your job, the job will give you much more things. Never ever think the job is a burden for you. A person who's capable only is sitting in that particular chair. If he is not capable, out. If you're not good, fire, hire and fire. Nowadays, if you see, if you are not there, another person is there for the job, readily waiting. You're not good for the job, just get out. You're not fit, you're not loving your job, just get out. They hire a person and they fire a person immediately. Because you're not there, 101% people are there standing outside waiting for the job. You keep on doing negative things in your job, one day or the other, unfortunately, without your expectation, you'll be fired out. So it's better, start loving your job. You start loving your job, you will end up with good things. Attitude. In many institutions, your attitude is not good. Because if you think, try being modest. Never think that you know everything in life. Everything is under your nose. Don't ever think. Even now also, I've got about 8 years of experience. 8 to 9 years I've got. My 9 years is completed. But tomorrow again, if I go for a class, it's not that I know perfect. I read through. Because teachers, I've been taking the subject for about 8-9 years also. I study it again. I see to that I'm perfect to it, and then only I just put my leg into the class. And not only that, we don't actually make the students wait. Your attitude matters. The students, they should not wait for the staff. We go to the students immediately after the class timing. We go and stand 5 minutes before the class ends. We go stand there, immediately we enter. We never make the students to wait. That is actually our motive in our college also. Your attitude matters. How do you actually behave? When are you success in life? When you are patient, when you're good at your duty, your determination works, take risk, but which is actually capable for you, which you cannot take, need not take. Do hard work. Nowadays also, a smart worker only will be actually successful in life. If you see a worker, a person had given work to two people. One person, the same work he took 1 day. One person, he completed that work in 1 hour. So the senior said, the person who completed the work in 1 hour, I appoint you. The other person said, sir, I've taken nearly 1 day to complete the work. He's a hard worker, but nowadays only a smart worker is appointed because he doesn't want to waste time. So you should do your hard work in a smart way. That is what you say, smart worker. Be persistent. One day you do perfect job. In cinemas, you can see a person is suffering for money. Within 3 minutes of that particular song, in the song, he starts that he's just starting with a small real business. End of the song, within 3 minutes, he might be a real crorepati. That happens only in cinemas, not in real life. Be persistent enough. Continuously, you need to work continuously. Your discipline, you might think that is not going to give you things. A black mark in your history of life, it is not a rubber where you can really take it off. It is not an eraser where you can really erase it immediately. We are not in a cinematic life where you can start your life from again. So never try to actually see to that you don't get a black mark in life. And as I said, your attitude matters. Failures, unfortunate things might happen beyond your hands. Accept that and come over it again. Nowadays, if you see, very pathetic to see people, students actually ending their life with NEET exam. It's very pathetic. You should never think that that is the end of the life. You should never try to have negative thinking in that. There are things beyond this. If you see, when I was studying in 10th standard, I got my chicken pox and I couldn't study chemistry at all. My parents wanted me to go into science group and all. I couldn't study chemistry at all. Finally, I thought, I just told my parents I can't study chemistry at all because nearly 1 month my class went off. And I said, shall I take a commerce group? My parents immediately said, okay, it's your wish, study. I took my commerce group. That's how I just came up with this. So that is not the end of the life. Obstacles, failures happen. Come over it. You break over it, come over it, you will become wonderful in life. If you see, how could I actually develop my soft skills? Communication is very important. How you actually go and convey things. Nowadays, people are thinking that English is very difficult. Take my word, you practice your English within 1 week. Daily, you just watch your English, all English newspapers, English news. Wonderfully, you be more than an Englishman, you can speak wonderful English. Never try to think that you cannot face a crowd. You can face a crowd. People are there. You might be shivering inside. If you are good in communication, you can face any sort of a crowd. Be a leader. Think that you need not actually stand behind a person. You can stand front of a person. Maybe have a good teamwork. As I say, the team only matters quite a lot. Never actually think that you cannot take decisions. If you can be a family member, if you can take decisions, definitely you can do a decision making in your organization also. Time management is very important. Don't drag on one work for the whole day. Try to complete one work maximum within an hour. if you are having burden at home. But one thing, when you get into your house, you might be having a mat in your doorstep. Leave your office work at the doorstep and get into it and lead your family also properly. Manage your stress both very well. Even with your, and when you get into your office, leave your family matters at the doorstep of your office and get into office. Work full-fledged for your office. If you do both, you will have a positive attitude. Greet all your particular colleagues very softly with a smile. Be flexible enough. You should be a professionalist, and then that will turn out to be for you to be a responsible person. Any conflict is there, try to resolve it. Don't make it double or triple. Any fight is there, don't try to just solve it. Don't try to make it double or triple. When actually characteristics, a team will be an effective team. When you are sharing your commitment, you have high level of satisfaction, awareness, capable, all these. When you have all these characteristics only, you can be an effective team. Always believe that you can do it. Be positive. That is what from the beginning I always say, even my students also. God brings every child into this world with one particular characteristics where any you might be distinct from others, with one particular distinctness with others. But you need to recognize what is your particular skill. For this also, don't expect others to come and tell you. If you see the singer, legendary singer S.P. Balasubramanian, he passed away last year. He is basically an engineer, but he turned out to be a wonderful singer. He recognized his parents wanted him to get into his engineering line, but later on, since of his beautiful voice, he turned out to be a legendary singer. But he became successful in that only. So you need to actually recognize your skill. Don't expect others to recognize it. Keep your motivation level to the maximum. Never bring it down. When you start your day, start with a smile, end with a beautiful smile. We work together, we can improve it. Don't go to the negative side. Don't waste your time at all, because time is precious. As a yesteryears, there is a proverb, time is always precious. And don't give up. I can't do it. Don't tell that also. If somebody has done some wrong to you, try to forgive them. Don't build that particular negative attitude. He did this to me, I have to do it to them. He deserves a forgiveness, because if you forgive, you will have a peace of mind. That day you will sleep properly. Later on, he will repent for it. He will come and tell you, sorry, I did it to you. So don't, even in organizations also, I've seen in many institutions also, when they actually have a conflict, they try to take revenge. The revenge will actually have a conflict on the institution only. Never do it. Somebody has done it to you. Forgive it. Forgive and forget. That is why F and F is there. Forgive and you forget. Because later on, that will have a good peace. If you try to take a revenge, what happens? That day, night, you think over it, double, triple, you spoil your sleep, your total day is gone forever. So never try to actually take revenge. Forget it. Then only you will get peace. If you don't improve yourself now, you will never do it. You will never have success at all. When are you really motivated? When you're really motivated, you definitely have enthusiastic. You just immediately go for work. You try to do better work. Immediately, the production of that organization also improves double, triple times. And there is also another third story. With the story, and just finishing off my motivation class, a person actually was saying, when you people are throwing stones on you, you are actually having a good harvest. Don't actually throw stone back on them. Your harvest is there, throw the particular fruit to them. That will create more seeds. There is another story where also they say, when people are throwing stones on you, use that stone for building your own house. Don't throw it back to them. Throw them particular fruit itself. With that, some seeds over there will actually come out. This actually I just thought, if you see, people are, I hope everybody knows Vijay Mallya, a very rich person and he's earned quite a lot. But latest, I just saw it in a status, a madam had just kept that he is just walking through a train in United Kingdom. He was walking through. What a big man, real crorepati. But everything situation will change. And if you see Tata groups of institution, the owner, when he wanted to take a photo with his colleagues, with his employees, he was kneeling down and his juniors are all standing. He is kneeling down. So such a big man, very, very modest, he is coming down with people and he's just kneeling down. Unfortunately, you cannot see people nowadays. When people start earning money, they get something called as head weight. Never be like that because any situation will change. So I hope people have enjoyed my motivation class. So I'll just go with my notes of the real original class. So can I move with that, sir?
Sure, madam. Such a wonderful talk you have given. And now you can carry on, madam. Continue
Okay,
the session.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So this, I'm just starting with my accounting session only. This is actually my basic accounting session. Means how our accounts were started before. Our basic, if you see, is our basic session of accounting. We have actually two only, which you say a debit entry and a credit entry. Generally, our students, when they don't, because we get so many non-commerce students, so when students also don't know which is the debit and credit, easily we just say on the left hand side, it is a debit entry, on the right hand side of the book, it is a credit entry. These two are our basics, where you say a debit entry where the sum is owned, we need to pay it outside. On the credit entry where we get something, that is what you say the credit entry. So the debit is anything on the left hand side is our debit, on the right hand side we say it as a credit. Slides are not.
Yeah, it will move. You just press it. No, yeah,
Okay,
it's
sir.
moving.
Okay, sir. Now, the next concept is about our basic accounting. We say a journal and a ledger. Here, if you say journal, it is actually a detailed account where you actually keep all your financial transactions. Some transaction is happening on one particular day. First, we actually write down. We say a journal entry, and underneath we just say it is called as a narration. Why do we actually have this journal entry is without journal you cannot actually have a ledger. Ledger is actually basically we keep it in books. We have a purchase ledger, we have a sales ledger, we have a cash ledger. All these we say it in books. A journal is an actual entry, financial transactions, where we keep all the accounting transaction which happens day by day. We note it on date wise. This happened today, this happened tomorrow, this happened today, with whom, all those transactions we actually noted down. And if you see in ledger, with this journal only, we are actually posting our ledger accounts. So the first concept in accounts, we used to do it is debit and credit. The next, we are just seeing it with journal and ledger. In accounts, if you see, we have got actually basic three types of accounting, where you say a financial accounting, cost accounting, and a management accounting. If you see financial accounting, the first thing, you're measuring everything in terms of money only, because business is started for earning money. Business is started for only earning profit. So how do we actually treat our money transactions? you need to primarily record it and prepare our profit and loss account and balance sheet, where you say it as final accounts. Final accounts where we say we prepare at end of the year. Our financial year starts from 1st April till the next year 31st March. So you say it is prepared in the final. That is why you say it as final accounts. Basically, you have a trading account, you have a profit and loss account, and you have a balance sheet. These three accounts are mainly prepared, and the balance sheet at the end of the year, you actually final and say, yes, our business is over, all our transactions we have recorded. Final, finished. So you are actually measuring your business in terms of money only. You say it, you call it as a financial accounting. You are actually measuring your economic performance. You're measuring your money-wise performance. All that only, that introduction, it is given in financial accounting. The second type of accounting, you say it as cost accounting. As many would have seen, if you see a product, you've got something called as MRP rate, where you say maximum retail price. You go to a small petty shop, you buy that product, he will see the behind of the product, he will say 20 rupees, fine, 20 rupees, give it to me, he will ask you. But the same thing, you go to a supermarket, he will not charge you 20 rupees. He will say 18 rupees or 19 rupees, 1 rupee below that. Why is it? Because the petty shop owner, he buys that in limited. The supermarket owner, he buys it in bulk. So from the manufacturer. So he can actually see the cost is little less, slightly less. So in cost accounting, what the particular businessman notes is how much of cost is incurred by him, because unless he does not measure the cost accounting, he is not going to able to fix any cost of the product. So the businessman, to fix the price of one unit, he requires to study the cost accounting. Then if you see our golden rules, we've got Newton's law. The first law is he actually puts an apple down due to the gravity of the earth. The particular apple falls on the earth. You apply that anywhere in the world, you're going to get the same thing. Accounting is also the basic thing only. We've got basic, the full business, we are actually dividing it into three, where you say it as real accounts, personal accounts, and our nominal accounts. The golden rules of real accounts is whatever comes in our accounts, how are we actually noting it down? What comes in, you are debiting. What goes out, you are crediting. Means real refers to any particular assets which you can touch and feel. For example, you can see furnitures. I've given the example also below. Furnitures, land and buildings, plant and machinery. All that you can touch and feel. The second golden rule, if you see, is our personal accounts. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. It is applicable to only persons like X, Y, Z, whoever it is. But the third, it is a nominal where you cannot touch and feel. All expenses and losses you are debiting, credits and gains you are crediting. This refers to our salary, wages. If you see, you receive a salary, you immediately get a message. Your account is credited. Means what? You're getting some income. You swipe your card somewhere in a showroom. You immediately you get a message. Your account is debited, because your account refers to a nominal one. You are getting something, you do a purchase. That is what immediately you get a debit message. It starts with that only. Your account is debited. That is what is the golden rules. That is what I just said about our golden rules. Here, this refers to our GAAP. As I said, generally accepted accounting principles. Wherever you go, this set of accounts and principles and procedures, it is applied everywhere. You are applying it everywhere. The data, everything should be accepted everywhere. That is what you say it as a GAAP. We saw the first two accounts. The third, which we saw it as our financial accounting, we saw our cost accounting. Now the third, if you see, is our management accounting, because accounting, it is generally, this is all this the basics which I'm just telling it to you. Because after, if you know this basics only, we can step into our softwares. So here the first two we saw are financial accounting, we saw our cost accounting. The third accounting, where you say it as management accounting. As a word you say management. Always an institution, you get into an institution, they say a word, it's the management decision. It is the top order decision. Management is actually, you say, it is divided into three: top level, middle level, and our lower level. A top level management, it actually includes the director, CEO, all those people. The middle level refers to a general manager, all these people. The third final level is our lower level, where it is the supervisors, the real executives. The decision which is made by the top level, the third level people are executing it. So they are the real executors. Management accounting, it will help the top management to change their decision. Because if you notice the policies, every time a policy and a decision cannot be stagnant. Stagnant, where you say one decision taken one time, it cannot be actually be the same thing throughout the year. You need to change it. You need to change the policies. That is what you never say it is stagnant. You need to change. People are having different taste. People are having different level of thinking. You need to change your decision. So management accounting will help the management to change the business and manage their decision making. So we have just seen the three types of accounting, where I just said it is a financial accounting, the cost accounting, and the management accounting. Here I've just given about the gap, where you say concepts, conventions, and accounting standard. The debit, always you actually say it as DR. People would think, why credit cannot be said CR? Credit we say CREDIT, debit we say DR. Why not DT, anything like that? It is actually the concepts and conventions only. We cannot actually say debit as DT. We say DR only. In our conceptions, in our concepts, what do we assume is business entity, or business is started for business only. You're not doing it for a service. You're measuring all your business activities in terms of money. Business is something where you're not going to stop with one particular person. If you see Dhirubhai Ambani, his first job was he was putting petrol for car in a petrol bunk. If he thought his life is stagnant, if he didn't think my life is just going to go on like this, nothing like that. His sons are earning crores now. He started his business. His sons have taken over it. They're developing it. So business is a going concern. It's not going to stop with one hereditary itself. It is continuing. You should really appreciate the idea of Dhirubhai Ambani. There was a phone where he started cell phones with 501 rupees. He started with it, and after that, later on, how much is going on? If he thought my life is going to be like this only, nothing is going to happen. What is going to happen? All my life is like this only. If you see in our house, we pay maximum about 2,000, 3,000 rupees. I don't think 3,000 itself. Our electricity bill would be for 2 months, maximum 2,000. More than that, I don't think it will come. But I just read in a newspaper, his sons are paying nearly 1.5 lakhs as electricity bill. 1.5 lakhs for 2 months. I believe it, because they've got lift in their house. They're very. Sir, am I online? So business is something
Yes, madam.
you're actually not
It's
going
audible.
to. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So business is something you're actually not going to stop with one hereditary. That is what is the third one, which I just gave a detailed explanation. The fourth, if you see, is our business is for accounting period only, for 1 year, 1st April to 31st March. If you see with our principles, conventions, dual aspect, if you see we've got in accountancy, we've got single entry and a double entry. Single entry is you go to a small petty shop. In one book, he enters all his entries, to whom he has to pay, to whom people have to give him money, to whom he has purchased things. All this, when he does it in one book, you say it as a single entry. But single entry, it is liable to too many errors. So what happens is, later on, the dual aspect, double entry system of bookkeeping had started. In double entry, when one person puts it in a debit entry, another person puts it in a credit entry. So that is what you say dual aspect. When you realize the value of an asset only, you are entering it. You realize and write the cost of it. You have to disclose your accounts to your shareholders. If you see, there's a concept of stakeholders and shareholders. Stakeholders refers to any person who is attached to the industry. If you see, for example, in a company, the employees is a stakeholder because he is liable to get money off in terms of salary. If you see a vendor, a seller, he is liable to get the money. The people who owns money, the creditors, debtors, all these people together are called as stakeholders. Shareholders are those people who buy only the share from the particular organization. So the company is liable to fully disclose all its activities. You need to do materialistic things and you need to be consistent enough. From where all these particular accounting standard is issued? It's only been issued by the Accounting Standard Board. So the next concept is about our contents of balance sheet. The first thing we have to see is our trading account. The second is our profit and loss account. The third final, in our final accounts only, we are entering all the things in our balance sheet. Trading account, what do you enter is any transaction concerned with the real trading of the business. For example, if you see the stock entry, if you see the closing stock, all these, anything concerned with the trading of the business. Anything of administrative expenses, you are entering it in a profit and loss account. And the third, you are entering only in the left hand side, you have liabilities. On the right hand side, you have assets. For that only, I've just given an example. Left hand side liabilities, you have fixed liabilities. The right hand side, you have all your assets. It is actually a statement where it is expressing the financial position. Means you have to see, if you notice in a newspaper, you go through the business column, the assets and the liabilities both will be equal. You might be, any non-commerce student would be wondering, what is this? Both the amounts are equal. Simple as that. What are all the loans which is being taken by the particular company? Has it been converted into an asset? They would have taken a bank loan, any particular sort of a loan, maybe short term, long term, any sort of a loan. Did they really convert it into an asset? That asset should be converted. Then only, if you see, you've got both the columns equally in the same amount. Left hand side you have 10 lakhs, right hand side you have 10 lakhs. That is the contents. Now we are just getting into the main sessions of accounting softwares. Accounting softwares, if you see, in the yesteryears, we never had anything called as accounting softwares. We just had the basics which we just saw right now. Only the basics only we saw. But nowadays, gone are those days of noting down with a book. All, you can say goodbye to those old days. You are not noting anything in a book nowadays. If you go to a latest institution, they just open a system, they just enter some password, immediately you get it. You can just see, when you are actually a software, what do you mean by that is, you describe an application software. All the transactions, everything, you are noting it in the system only. How are we actually doing it? It functions. How is it functioning? It may be developed inside the institution, or you buy it from a third party. Nowadays, even if you see, people from outside also, they're doing this sort of a business. That is what you say, a third party. You go to a third party, you say, what is your organization? Whether you're a supermarket, whether you're just taking note of human resource. You just give them the basic only. They will modify a software and give it to you. For example, simple as that. You go to a supermarket, you buy a product, behind you have a particular barcode. In the yesteryears, they would just write it down in a paper. You bought this particular product, they write the rate of it. Nowadays, if you notice, they just have a software machine. They click on the barcode, immediately it comes on the system. That is a software which is done as per the customer. As per the customer, they do it easily because they don't want to waste time. Because people will be standing in queue, as our sir had also said. Yesteryears, we go to the bank, we stand in queue, we try to give, you're going to present a check, they will give you a token, you stand there. But now, easily, you go to a ATM, everything has got its plus and minus. You go to a ATM, you go there, you immediately swipe your card, you get your money, whatever you want. The yesteryears of wasting time is gone. The same way also, you go to a supermarket. Yesteryears of they noting it down and giving it to you in hand is gone. They click on it, on the barcode, it appears on the system. Immediately, they generate the bill, they give it to you. Hardly you can find queues even in the supermarket. So it is as per the third party also, they customize it. They set the software as per it. So that anywhere, anytime, this particular, you need not actually waste it, provided you have good internet facility. So what is an accounting software is, you are actually recording and processing your accounting transactions. Within everywhere, everything is actually noted down in the system itself. That is what I just said. Goodbye. Never actually waste time. Say goodbye to all these. You are actually not, you're forecasting, you're budgeting, all those modules. Everything you analyze and you predict your financial performance. And it builds. Nowadays, if you see, you go to an institution, you keep your fingerprint. You keep your fingerprint, immediately it says you're present. This is an ERP software, Enterprise Resource Planning software. It is generated when you enter first time into an institution. Your fingerprint is actually kept noted. For X, it is so and so. This is your generated number. Immediately in the software, it comes what time you came. In the yesteryears, what do we used to do? We used to actually go and sign. Signing can be forgery. Anybody can sign. But nowadays, your fingerprint cannot be taken by anybody else. That is Enterprise Resource Planning. That is a software which is noted. Why is this software coming now? You save time, be more productive. When you save time only, you can engage yourself doing productive things. You can have your perfect data. Anything went wrong, get your information immediately. Because in the yesteryears, we used to keep books. Books can be actually gone forever. Hardly many institutions keep their books very safely. Of course, I can say even softwares also can scratch it down with virus. That is a different issue. But comparatively, when you keep it, your software, any information you can get immediately. That is what you can retrieve it immediately. You secure your storage, your file very securely. You store it very securely. And you work from anywhere. It's not that nowadays we are working it from home. For past 1.5 years, we have been working from home. How could we do it? It's only because of softwares also. You install it, you immediately work it from home. You are integrating easily and you're making yourself skillfully better. Did we ever think that we are going to do online things? I never thought. I used to tell my students, I've never taken an online class. This happened from March 2020 onwards. I've never taken that because when I take accounts, I want the reaction of my students also. Whether they understood, any doubts for them, anything, what is the reaction in their face. I would like to just take the reaction from the students directly. But that didn't happen from March 2020. Now only the college has started. But now what happens? We are actually making ourselves skillfully better. We are improving ourselves. That is what this is why our accounting softwares are used on. The top accounting softwares now particularly used in India. What are all the top particular softwares? Is the first one where you say it as Xero. Is the most powerful platform for small businesses and accountants. The Xero is people who are having just initially starting their business. For them, this is a wonderful tool only because they're not going to start with the double entry system, nothing. Only with single entry. So Xero is the main particular platform which is used for small business people only. The second one, if you see, is the QuickBooks, where you say it as it is a default option for smaller companies. Means a slight improvement from the small business, you're using it for smaller companies. The third one where you see it as NetSuite. As I just said about ERP for larger companies. An organization, if they have more than 500 employees, they cannot maintain books for them to be present or not absent, what is the reason, everything. Nowadays, if you're taking leave also, you just need to keep a call on your, you need not go and apply. Means tomorrow I need to take a leave. I need not go and write a letter and go and stand to get my sign of my senior, nothing like that. There are softwares where I apply leave online. That is what you say a NetSuite. This is the enterprise resource planning where you are applying your leave. You give a call to your senior and say that so and so I'm not well, so I require a leave, and you apply your leave online. Your senior will approve it. Your leave is sanctioned. You need not go and stand in front of them asking them for leave and submitting your letter. All those days, that is also gone. So NetSuite is actually used for it. The Microsoft Dynamics GP also. It is for established business. The same of the ERP. The fifth one where we actually see is Blackline automation. The fifth one, this I'm just giving a glimpse of what are all the main softwares which is nowadays used. A glimpse of it only. The Blackline automation focus tool. Here you are using it for your reconciling your credit card management. Nowadays, if you see, there is something called as internet where you your card, if you notice, and there's an internet symbol in that. In certain cards it is there. I don't think in the basic cards you get it, because you go stand there, you have to be careful. Your net connection is going to be on totally. When you go swipe a card, another person also will utilize your net and he will take money from your account. So you need to be, as I said, our improved technology, it has its own plus and minus. We have to be very careful with it. So you need to have this Blackline automation also. It is actually used for managing your credit card management. Then if you see the Wave, the simple option for sole traders and freelancers. Freelancers are those person, they don't go to the institution daily. This particular people, when they don't go to the institution daily, how am I marked present or absent? So this is the particular Wave software which is used for it. Because I don't go to the institution, I'm not a regular employee, I'm not a regular faculty over there. So this helps me for making me to see whether I'm actually present or absent. The FreshBook accounting automation. This is only for service based. Here in this particular yesteryears, only we in the long days, we used to see softwares was only tally. But nowadays, if you see, there are so many softwares improved. So when you see so many software, you should know where are we standing now. I'm not knowing what is going on in the world. I need to know what is actually going on in the world. So many have come. Service companies where they are not doing anything for money. For that, this particular FreshBook accounting automation is used. The next, if you see, is our Deltec Vision. Deltec Vision, this software is actually used only for professional services. Means professional companies, engineering companies, as simple as an example. Engineering companies, they use this professional softwares only. That is the thing which is used for Deltec Vision. The next, if you see, is Free Agent. Free Agent, where do we use it? It is used only as an accounting tool for very, very small business. As I say, in one book, noting down all your transactions. In one book, keeping a track of all your transactions. Here, you are not writing anything in different books. After one book is completed, then only you take up another book and later on you actually note down everything. Then the next, if you see the 10th one where you say it as spend desk. Spend desks, what do you mean by this particular spend desk is you are actually managing your spend management. Spend management that accountants really love, because when you have always only particular earning only, accountants will not love it. You need earning and also a spending solution. When you have a spendex, then only the accountants will really love. And the final software, if you see, is the famous one which is used, the PFMS. The PFMS, which is actually the full form is the Public Financial Management System. This we will see it in detail also, because this is the real software which is people wanting to know nowadays. But what is this PFMS? Yes, sir, somebody's raised a hand.
We give the discussion time at the end. You can continue.
Okay, sir. So the PFMS, where this is the real software application which is implemented by the Controller General of Accounts, and it was started in 2009, and the real-time reporting of the expenditure at all levels in program implementation. Here, all this particular PFMS, what is the real tracking is in particular one plan. What are the tracking funds? How do we actually do it? We will see this in detail also. How to actually, in this particular PFMS, you need to enter the vendors first. You need to enter the vendors details first. You need to track and you need to actually post the funds. How do we do it? All these particular online software application which was implemented by the Controller General of Accounts. So can I go to my next slide, sir?
Yeah, yes, madam. You can.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now here, if you see the basic, which we say it as tally. Tally, they say, is making accounting easy.
Madam,
That's
it's not
what.
visible.
It's
Can you
not
close
visible.
the previous PowerPoint and then you can open a new
Okay,
one.
sir. Now, sir?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
visible.
sir.
You can click on next one. Yeah, letters are coming. Yeah,
Okay.
yes, now it's come.
Now we say is tally, which you say the yesteryears onwards. Now also, I don't say yesteryears. Now also, when people say they require for a wanting of a job, immediately they say you require tally also. What is this tally is? It was actually made for making accounts easy. In the yesteryears, we used to actually do manual entry of our trading account, our P&L, profit and loss account, our balance sheet, all those. You need to make everything, and later on you have to see whether your balance sheet is tally. But in after tally came up, you enter your details in the software, you get your balance sheet tallied, and that's brought to you in your hand. That made accounting easy. The next, if you see, is an accounting software. This particular books only, as I said, this accounting, you actually made it in big book. How it is actually made? It is done in a just only a particular small CD only. Here you enter all these details. This sort of a big book, you made it very easy. That is what you say it is an accounting software which is made very easy. Just a minute. My slide is not moving that way, so just a minute, sir.
Yeah. You can close the previous one, motivational
Yes.
talk one, and then open the fresh one and then share screen, click that particular window. It will come automatically.
Okay. Yes, sir. Now here what all are we are just going to see. Our index is, you're going to see the version, how to start it up, how to create, then create of accounts heads, other options, creating accounting, all these are our index. The first one is here how this particular tally came in.
Madam, slide is not visible.
It's not visible, sir.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
You have opened
A different one,
now
sir.
it is. Yeah, now it is coming.
Versions of the
Now
introduction.
you have to click the slide view, madam. Slide view.
Yes. Slide is visible, sir.
Yeah, visible, madam.
Okay. So I just said about the index. You're just going to see the creation of it and import master. All this is the index of what all we're just going to see about our tally. As I said, tally is not the yesteryears also. As now also when you go for a job, they actually say, have you studied tally? That is the one question also they definitely ask you. If you are a plus point, that is just a plus point for you, that whether you've completed your tally course. Because if you see in our institution, in our college also, some students actually asked for learning tally. So we gave them a course also for it. We taught them. That time, that was the first experience for me to learn tally. Myself and my colleague, both of us also joined, and we studied tally when the students were studying. Because we should never think that I know everything. I don't tell my students. I never say I know everything. When they ask me a doubt also, you should open questions for the students also. When they ask you doubt, never show off that I know everything. I just tell them, wait a minute, I'll refer it and I'll tell it to you. I refer it and I go and clear the doubt. That is what is an attitude of a real teacher. You should never threaten them saying that don't ask questions. When they ask questions only, we learn something more. So when my old students in 2012, they asked me about tally, I said, no, I have not learned tally. So when that often came for the students, might as well, why don't I go? I went and I sat, myself and my colleague, I went and I sat with my students as a student, and I learned tally that time. So where this particular tally started, this was actually done by the late S.S. Goenka, and he was a founder of it. And now what it is called as a Tally Solutions. If you see, it's a brand. If you see, we say something called as Xerox. Xerox is actually a company name. The real name of it is photocopy. You never say Xerox. Xerox is actually, but what, because of the brand of it, we say, go take a Xerox of it. That is not the originality. You can Google it and search. Xerox is a company name. And they say the real name, it started with photocopy. That is what, even if you see tally also, it is the brand name. And how this particular tally, the undisputed king of all financial, you can never beat it at all. It is able to connect all kinds of your transactions, anything. And neither need to learn for this. You just need to know where all you need to post your transactions. The posting is important, where I should need to put. It covers all wider area. It covers all your owner, financial, accountant, manager, everything. It covers all these particular wider area. Never think that I don't know, I can't know. It's very easy provided you post your transactions properly. That is why the tally is always called as an undisputed king. Now, if you see the first step over here in Tally, once you download your software, the first step here, you actually need to know, first enter your company. If suppose select, you get many options. Else you try to create your company of your own. You create a company, you select what type of a company are you. For example, are you a manufacturing, are you a production, whatever it is. Under that, you get a lot of options. After that, you create what sort of a company you are. Then if you see, that is what the arrow marks also I've just given. Which version are you in? Your version details has to be entered. Then after that, which sort of an licensing are you? Here, this is all just an example which I've given here. It is an educational mode. Then over here, after your listed of companies, you can know your company details would come over here. Which sort of a company and what is your last date of entry. Over here, then you have your particular, you get your calculator tools. What are your calculations to be done? And in this particular area, you get sort of buttons toolbars. Means what are all your transactions to be done. So first step over here, you start with your tally over here. When you see, this is your first picture. You select your company. After that, with you get different types. What sort of a company are you? Then you actually give your version details. Which sort of a version are you? Your licensing, are you an educational or your production, whatever it is. You give your licensing more details. Then you give your gateway. This is actually your gateway. Means over here only you start your transactions. That is why you say it as a gateway of Tally. You give your calculations over here, and this tools bar, what is called as your buttons toolbar. The second step over here, is getting stuck, I think so. Just a minute, sir. I'm just getting stuck, I think. After one thing, I just get stuck.
You can use the arrow key, madam, so
that's what, sir. I just used the arrow key.
Okay.
But I just got stuck.
When you
after
touch other panel, of Zoom, then automatically it will be disabled. So only use the arrow key.
Okay, sir.
You can click once again that on the PowerPoint, and then you can open it. Because if you touch the panel, like in mute or like in pictures, if it is moved, then it will go into it.
Okay.
Come now.
Oh. Now this is just an example where I've just given about our Tally software. Here, when you enter all these details, this accounting entries, this you need to, yes or no is the thing which you need to be very careful. This is the entries where you first give your integrated accounts. It is there. Is it there? You put yes. Are you having any sort of an income expense stated? Because if you don't have, you need to put no. Is it there? You put yes. Is it not there? You put no. Are you allowing any sort of an allow multi-currency? This is all the mandatory things which are already there inside. Then you outstanding management. Your outstanding management, what are all is there? You go through your means all your details which you have it in your hand. You maintain your bill wise. Are you doing it? Yes. If you are not doing it, put it as no. Then what are all the things which you have over here? Your cost and profit management things. Are you maintaining a payroll? I hope many of you know a payroll is you are actually giving your salary remuneration. In this also, if you see, there is a difference. Wages is different and salaries is different. Generally, if you say wages are paid only for a person who is daily working in your means a daily labor. He comes today, he might not come tomorrow. For him, what you pay, it is called as wages. When you pay for a person in month for a white collar job, simple as that. For a white collar job, you pay him something called as salary. That you pay it in month. So there is a difference also. Payroll system also there is difference. You pay it in daily labors, you pay them, you call it as wages. When you tell tomorrow to outsiders also, never say that I am paid so much of wages. My salary is so and so. And there is a simple saying, never ask a women's age and a men's salary also. That is a different thing. I just told it. But every time, never tell outsider that my wages are so and so, because it is done for a daily labor. When it is paid for you, it is called as a salary. So what are you maintaining the payroll system? And what are all the cost over here? Called as job costing. You have job order costing. That is a real concept also. You make a job cost sheet. That you do it in our yesteryears of accountancy. You maintain a spreadsheet. You say, I appoint 100 employees. When I appoint 100 employees, this is my real cost. When I appoint 200 employees for this many machines, that is my real cost. So this, if you see, that costing, are you doing it? Are you maintaining it? If yes, you put yes. Then here, are you having a predefined? If yes, you put yes. Invoicing, you have a sheet of invoicing also. If you have, put yes. Else, put it as no. Your debit and credit notes. Then your budgets, your other features. What are the configurations? If you see in this is configurations of accounting features, you need actually your F1, F2 only is there. In your laptop or your system, the F1 and F2 only actually matters. Here in our F2, if you press your F2, here we had F1 which regards to our accounts only, F2 which regards to your inventory. What happens after that? F1 refers to accounts only, F2 refers to your inventory. So after you press F2, what happens? F2 when you press, you get your integrated accounts and inventory. Yes, yes. All this we just saw. Here you maintain. Over here there is a difference also. You are ordering or processing. Are you allowing any process order costing? In between, you actually need to do all these manual transactions only. You are entering it in the system. Your work is not, you're not going to do a calculation at all. If it is there, you're going to put yes, else no. So after you press your F2, what happens? You get these transactions and you are going to put whether it is yes or no. Then in the sales management also, you have multiple price levels. Are you having, because if you notice, simple as that, as an example, you are fixing not one price for a product. You are not fixing one price for a product. You are selling it in different samples. You're selling it in different samples. Why is it that? Of course, for customers, we do it. That is what you say multiple price level. You sell it in 50 grams, you sell it in 100 grams, you sell it in 150 grams, all that for actually the good things for the customer. Are you doing it? Yes means yes, else no. Any particular delivery notes, any person, when he didn't want your any particular, if he didn't want your product, is he rejecting it? Rejection in words, whether it is coming in or going out. If you are noting it, if yes, yes, else no. If you see, the third one is also After pressing your F3, F3 refers to your statutory and transactions only, statutory and taxations. This again, as I said, I give you examples only over here. Are you enabling your excise duties? Nowadays, we have something called as a new GST, new concept itself. I don't say it is a new one. You have goods and service taxations also. In the yesteryears, when we buy any particular product, we never heard something called as GST. We never heard something called as goods and sales taxation. Nothing we heard. But now you go to a hotel, you go eat something, they charge for that also your GST, etc., etc., and you pay for one set of idli, you pay nearly 20-25 rupees, including your taxation. So that plays a vital role. That is what I just wanted to say. Are you enabling any your excise duties in this also? And are you following your excise taxation rules? Are you having tax deducted at source? Are you enabling your fringe benefits? Are you enabling all your alter service tax? If yes, mention it as yes. Else no. After that, what is your next duty? You are configuring, you're doing all these transactions, you have listed your company over here. The first thing, your company name is Sharma Constructions, you're listing it over here. You are entering each and every transactions. That is what you are doing. After your F1, F2, F3. The next one is you are configuring it in F12. In Tally, only your F buttons are main thing. That is what I say. Your F buttons are the main important buttons which has to be followed. Then, if you see after your F12 transactions, what are the details which you need to get? Your country details, your style of your name, the style of your date. Then, because if you see why you think the style of the date is also important is because you need to mention it in date, month and year. Then your configuration numbers. Then after that, your other options. Where are you giving it in monthly reports? If yes, yes, that is only important. Your this particular F12, are you giving it in monthly? Are you ignoring your errors? Are you having masters only in your language? All that. That is your transactions, which is important. What is your general configurations only? Your general configurations and your master configurations. What is it important?
Madam, instead of scrolling down, you can go to the exactly slide and then you can click the current slide view. It will come automatically the current slide to reduce the time. Madam, another 10 minutes you can finish, then tomorrow we'll have a training. So 10 minutes within you can finish, then we'll have an interaction.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, madam.
So how do you actually create your company? How do we actually create the step one? So this will take some time, sir. With this, can I just stop then?
You can continue, madam. If you're not finished the tally, the whole tally, you can.
Yes, sir. No, tally will take some more time, sir.
Oh,
How
okay.
to create a company only, I'll just take this, sir.
Yeah. You can continue, madam.
So how do you actually create a company? First step, go to your gateway. This is just the steps, because as per this, we can create a company. Go to the gateway, company information, and you can create your company. That is what we just saw. You go to your company, And this is the first step. You create here, and after that you can actually get your creative name. The step 2, you get a lot of options over there. Fill in the details of the options which are filled by default are mandatory. Mandatory means you need to compulsorily fill it, else your particular company will not be created. The step 3, accept the screen by pressing enter or control A. You need to accept it and you press your control A. Alteration, what happens is a created company's detail can be modified. If suppose you want to alter it, this is not correct, you need to alter your details. A company has been successfully created. Then how do we actually create our accounts heads? Here, as we just saw, you go to your accounts information, because if you see in our accounts head also, you have different company, and company varies. Different company has different accounts information. So what is your head, you need to actually enter, because some people may have operating, non-operating expense style, all different transactions vary from one company to another. You go to your masters, you get into the accounts information, and then under that you can enter. Here if you see this particular buttons only matters over here. Your F1, F2 for your date and period, F3 for your company, and F4 for your connectivity. For actually getting your particular options, here you again go to your main page. After that you need to press your F11 for your particular transactions, because you need to give inventory in inventory, statutory taxation in that, then accounting features in that. You need to give different heads. Under that you need to actually enter all these transactions. In accounting features, what is your number? This F1 only, you need to actually keep it in mind. For accounting features, keep F1. For your inventory features, keep F2. And for your statutory and transaction, you need to press your F3. This buttons is very important to keep it in mind. F1, F2 and F3. F1 for your accounting features, F2 for your inventory, and F3 for your transactions. The configurations which we just saw just now. Sir, I'll continue with this, sir. Anybody has doubts, sir, till this? Yes, sir.
Have you finished?
No, sir. No, because F1, F2, F3.
Okay,
Then
okay,
I just
okay.
clicked,
Continue,
sir.
continue, madam.
Okay. We just saw with F12 also the statutory transactions only we were just seeing, whether you're having your fringe benefits. So that is most important.
Madam, the PowerPoint disappeared.
Disappeared, sir.
Yeah.
Now, sir?
Yes, visible.
Okay. So we've just seen about our general configuration and our master configuration. Here you need to actually, your divisions are much more important. Whether you are doing it in which particular sort of a heading only, accounts and inventory masters. That is our accounts, where are you actually posting your entries? Where actually you are posting your entries and which place? Means, are you doing it in your particular general configuration, or are you entering it in your master configuration? That only is important. Your button type only is very important in that. The next, if you see, is what are all the vouchers? Each company has different types of vouchers. It is not that every company has the same type, they have different type. In that only our voucher entry, your payroll configuration, your accounting vouchers entry. Here some people, they actually skip the dates, because when you are skipping the dates, that bill wise also it actually differs. So you need to actually say whether you have your ledger current balance, what are all is there, you just enter your yes or no. If you see, if there is any warning, some companies, they have negative balance, you need to actually put yes in that, give a warning for that always. Why is it? Because negative balance, that gives sort of a fine, means a real bad name on the company. So whenever we have a negative balance, that actually need to be indicated. We need to know about it. So that's important. You need to give for that yes. Then after that, for our inventory also, when you don't, inventory refers to, generally you say it as a stock. Generally for inventory, we say it as a stock. When we do not have any particular inventory also, that a warning has to be given for us. Why is it? Because we need to actually get our more inventory. Then our payroll configuration also. Payroll configuration, here you need to get your, whether are you giving it in the proper date, are you having your passport visa, are you having your payroll slip, that again has to be entered properly. Then our data configuration, which particular configuration are you following? Because Tally, you have different sort of locations, different sort of files. Which particular data configuration is the particular company following? So here we have just seen three: your voucher entry configuration, our payroll configuration, and our data configuration. The next, if you see, is we're just going to see about creating accounting masters. How do we actually create an account master? Here again, you need to go to the gateway of Tally. Every step in Tally, the first step is you go to the first page, home page. For creating anything, you need to actually go to the home page only. In accounts information, go to the groups. In that, you again go to create. After that, you need to actually see which sort of a group are you following. Whether you require a single sort of a group. If it is single sort, you have buildings. Under that, you put it only as fixed asset. But if you create multiple groups, under fixed asset, we have different sort of real assets. If you want to create, I repeat again for this because some people will get confused. Here, if you create a group, you need to, how do we create? Why is this creation required? Is because some companies, they keep it only fixed asset. Heading is fixed asset and they keep the standard under that only. But some companies, under fixed asset, they have multiple. So how do we keep that? We keep a building, car, furniture, because companies will not have only one type of fixed asset. In certain companies, they just write fixed asset in your balance sheet. But in the others, they mention everything. So how do we create a group for that? You go to your main page groups, your Tally groups, then go to create. If it is a single group creation, you can do it. If it is a multiple group, under that, you have to write all this. You've got building, you need to manually type in that. You've got building, you've got car, you've got furniture and fixtures. This is for creating your groups in your Tally software. Then how do we actually create your accounts information ledgers? In that, again go. First, we just saw for regarding groups. The second step, Now you go to ledgers. How do we create ledgers? What are all ledgers is there in your business? Again, go to ledgers, go to create. After that, then go to your ledger creation, whether it is so and so. From them, what are all? If it is multiple, you have different expenses. Now, for the first thing, what we saw is we created a group for single ledgers only, means fixed assets. Now, we are just saying for accounts information, what are all the accounts information you require? In that, you enter the amount. Over here, if it is only one person, you are entering their amount, whatever the case may be, you are entering their mail address, everything. But if you have multiple over here, you write, you have to type this, you write what are all the expenses, whether it is direct or indirect. I hope everybody knows direct expenses which are directly related to your business. Telephone expense, it is not directly related, because telephone expense generally, if you see, they are indirect expense, they are not directly connected with your business. Rent, stationery, this is just an example. All this is indirectly, so you need to give under the heading of indirect expense. So first we saw that, and the second we have seen regarding our ledgers. Now if you see for our voucher type, we saw our group, we saw after that our accounts, and now we are just going to see the same thing. Same way, you go to create, and after that you're going to see what sort of a voucher type it is. Whether it is multiple. Over here, if you see our method, if you see, this is just an example about bank. Bank, we are having an automatic voucher typing. And here you need to mention what sort of an means from where, how many, what is the amount and till what date. You need to mention the class of it. After that, you create a inventory mastery. How to do that? Again, you go to the main thing. You may be wondering, again you go to the main. Everything you start with this only. You start with stock groups, you go to your main, stock groups, create, and then you create what are the softwares you require. And if you require stock items, again go to the main information, stock items, what are all the stock you create. From create, what are all the things? In this you need to type. This you need to type what is it. If you do it for the first time, I agree it is difficult. First time if you do it, everything you do it for the first time, it is difficult. Practice makes a man perfect. After that, later on, Tally is wonderfully interesting and it is easy to do. Your creation of your accounting is only important. Once you create, after that, you enter everything, you get your results manually just like that. Immediately printed wise, you get your results. Then after that, when you create, then you get what are all the some amount of units. Everything starts with the gateway only. I repeat again, everything starts with the gateway. You start with your groups, what are all the groups you require, else you start with your stock items. Then after that, from this only you go on. Then after that, what is your next step? Here you typing all your datas. That is what you say, import data. You type your data, you import your data from one company to another. If when you, that is what I said, when you import your data, when you type your data, everything is going to be wonderfully easy. After you import, what is this sort of, it will actually show whether this particular entries are already there. If suppose you have done 2 times entry, 2 times mistakes always happen. When you've done 2 times entry, it automatically shows this particular entry is already existing. So you can take it off. It's not that you need not, you cannot take, you can take it off. How do we create transactions? Again, you go to your gateway. After that, you actually make a payment transactions. I've done a payment. You go to your gateway of Tally, means the main page. You go to your accounting voucher. From there, whether it is a payment or purchase, whatever it is, you can actually post it in this. Then after that, your receipt voucher, we did a purchase, our receipt voucher, your number is F6. This particular buttons only we have to be very careful. You actually post your receipt voucher. How do we actually do that also? Here again, you go to your main page and you can post. I have done a payment. I have done a receipt. You manually type it over here, amount over here, and after that, if you see narration after that, 3 lakh. Do you accept it? Yes. Have you done it? Yes. You need to type this also. After that, what is the next if you see is our contra voucher where it is FO. Here, if you see, you've done from there, again another entry we need to do. So Punjab National Bank, this particular amount, have you done it? Yes. Accept it? Yes. You need to accept it. Then the next, your journal voucher where you say it as F7. Your journal entries also you can actually do it. Your debit entry, your credit entry, and your water expense. Where have you done it? Is the amount 3,500? Do you accept it? Yes. Your water expense which you have done, the payment. Your journal entry for that. Journal entries can be done for each and everything. This I have just put it for one entry only for one entry. Then for your sales, I have done something called as I have done 150 pieces of mouses I have sold. Do you accept it? Yes. Everything, if you accept it, no, this will not agree. So you need to accept that. Your purchase voucher. Here again, you need to actually, how many things have you purchased? All these entries, your rate, your amount. This will be specified. These entries are the things which you need to put. Means your fiber, what are all the sheets, your party name. This will be there already. Are you accepting it? Yes. All that acceptance is also important. Then creating transactions in inventory voucher. If you want, how do we create a transaction? Here you again go to your gateway of Tally, your main page. Then you need to press Alt plus F7 both. Then you need to transfer from where you consume and from your production to your consumption. From where you did your particular production till where you have consumed it. Are you accepting? These buttons again I say important. Are you accepting it? Yes. I have done my fiber. I have done this entry also. Both these entries I have done. If you notice, both these entries I have done already and have transferred the materials. Then our trial balance. If you see in accountancy, we actually say a trial balance, meaning where you say you try and make an error. Means if you see our balance sheet has to be tallied. A balance sheet, before getting a balance sheet tallied, some companies only actually prepare a trial balance. Why do we say it as a trial balance is they need to find out whether their debit and credit entry both are equal. If it is not equal, what is the mistake behind it? They try. They balance the debit. That is why if you notice, our debit and our credit entry has to be equal. If it is not equal, some mistake is there where I didn't do my entry. How do we actually post our particular trial balance? Again, you need to go to the gateway, the main page, go to the display, and there you can get. This is the final thing which you will actually get, because our trial balance, our debit and our credit entry both has to be equal. If not, where did the mistake go? That is our next. Then what are all the books of accounts you need to report? In Tally, what are all the actual books, what are all the things we need to actually enter is our profit and loss account statement, our balance sheet. What are all the things you can report in a Tally? That is what actually we are just saying. Our profit and loss account statement, our balance sheet, our cash flow system, a fund flow system, ratio analysis, and other statutory books. Here, if you see, we have just seen about profit and loss and our balance sheet. Cash flow and funds flow does not play, means it is not much different. You are seeing how much of cash transactions is going on in the company, and you are seeing how much of funds has gone into the company, how much of funds has come out of the company, and you measure your particular full business in the form of ratios. You have different types of ratios. All these particular books you can actually report it in a Tally based. And here if you see, here profit and loss. In profit and loss account, what are all the things? Here this is just simple example only. What are all the things if you see is our purchase, indirect expense. In our profit and loss account generally, Here, this is called as a trading account, we say. This is our trading. The below you say it as profit and loss account. Here we are just combining it both. Our gross profit, when you close your trading account, you get gross profit. From your gross profit, you started with your profit and loss account. But over here, you are actually entering both. Then after that, you are entering your balance sheet items. What are all we have actually entered, you are getting it tally. Balance sheet items, we are getting it tally. The cash flow statement, how do we enter that? If you see in our cash flow statement, they have actually had only this. This is just again an example only. In March only, they had their entries. So this particular transactions, how much inflow refers to how much of money has come into the organization. Outflow, how much has it gone out of the organization. Then you are actually minusing it. So that is the amount which we get it over here as net inflow. Your inflow minus your outflow, you get it over here as your net flow. In March only their transactions has gone. So that you are you're just drafting it in a graph. That is what for your cash flow. For your funds flow, it's not much different. Funds flow, how much of money, working capital. Means working capital, you say it as your current asset minus your current liability. Since it is in the March, it is gone in the negative balance. Because nothing has come properly, it is in the negative balance. That is why if you notice the graph is there down below. For your ratio analysis, all these are the ratios. Ratios, you have different types of ratios. The company is actually marking all that in sort of this particular ratio only. The main ratios which is measured over here, the amount which is measured over here, and what are all the ratio calculation it is measured. You need to enter this and you will get your current ratio, all these particular ratios clearly. After that, your stock list. If you see this particular example company is only having with regard to your fiber and mouse. So the stock, how much is it there? Maximum, how much of stock is measured over here? This again you need to manually type over here. What is your how much of amount of mouse? 100 piece. You need to manually type it over here. 150 the calculation. Then your raw materials, fiber, how much of fibers? 8 sheets. What is your rate of it? All that you need to manually type it over here. Your day book system. If you see day books, what are all the day books actually the company is following? It refers from one company to another company. Here if you see the day books they have got is only these many. Rent, Kapoor Industries, water expenses, all this only the company has got. So that again you need to manually type. What are all the sales books? Sales books, what are all the things? Again your sales registers. How many months are we having the sales? That again you need to manually type it over here. For your purchase ledger, we saw the sales. Purchase, for how many months are you doing it? Again you go to the same thing. If you see everywhere you go to the first step of gateway of tally only. You go over there, you have the display, and later on you get your accounts book. You can enter your purchase register. After that, you need to keep a backup of your data. What are all the things you have entered? You keep a list of it and you have a backup of your data so that you restore it, because later on if you want to retrieve it, whether you want to retrieve, press yes only. Here if you press no, you will not get your data again. Your data will not be restored. So you need to press yes only over there. If suppose you are migrating it, your tally, you're improving it. How do we actually try to do it? You go to Tally ERP 9 and you can actually apply and you can install it. This is your, with regard to your tally, this is the software which is actually migrated, your latest versions. You can migrate it and get your tally improved. After your tally is actually been migrated, you will get a message. Migration message, it has actually been completed. Your tally software has been migrated. If suppose it is saying like this, your data has not been improved, there is something particular mistake what you have done. You need to migrate your data from your old software to your new software. If suppose if it is not, you select your migrate data, and from your old version to your new version, you can actually update your softwares also. Because Tally is a wonderful software where you can update. On selecting, what do you get? Rewrite version is displayed. Are you doing it a rewrite version? Press yes for that. You can get a rewrite version after that. You can migrate from your old software, you can migrate it into your latest ERP9 data format. That is your data format. That's it, sir, for Tally, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Such a long spell of talk explaining this overview of accounting software with the start with the motivational talk. And it was very interesting, and everybody, they are very interested, and I hope they have learned very well. And I request the participant, if you have any queries and questions, you please ask. And tomorrow also, madam will be taking the practical sessions and also this governmental software, that PFMS. So I request join tomorrow also. Now I'll unmute each and every one of you. If you have any query, just you can interact with the madam directly. So now you can ask the question. Yeah, Mutum. Mutum, you have raised. Yeah.
Good noon, ma'am. I'm Mutum Dinamani from Manipur. And ma'am,
Yes,
does this accounting software protect our privacy, our data? Or do they have access to our data?
sir, I didn't get you, sir. What is it, sir? Accounting software?
Does accounting software protect our data?
Protect over data.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, it will actually mention whether are you actually having your perfect data. It will not protect over data, sir.
Madam, is there an option for offline mode for updating our data?
Option mode, it depends on one to another software, sir. Some data is actually, if you see ERP, it will actually support over data. But other basic softwares, it does not support over data, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any participant, do you have any questions? Please let us know. Yeah, anybody? If you have any questions.